I wonder why can't I share this to other groups? I want to share this in other groups, but it's not allowing me to. Maybe afterwards. I can do it afterwards. If anybody's on, please feel free to share this on your page and in your groups. Today we're going to be talking about negative energy and depression and some other things that affect us women. We're going to be discussing it a little bit. So if anybody's on, please feel free to share this on your page, share this with some sisters that you know might need it, that may be going through a depression right now or maybe going through troubling times right now. Please share this with your fellow sisters, your fellow women, aunties, cousins, whoever, because we need to talk about negative energy. That's what we're going to be talking about today, negative energy. I'm trying to give a few people time to come on. Just one more minute and then we're going to get started. Hello, sis. How are you? Hi, thanks for joining. We're going to get started in just a minute. And then okay, we can go ahead and get started. As other people come in, as I see other people coming in, I'll just repeat what I've said, bring them up to speed, and we just go from there. But I came on today for two reasons. The first reason that I came on today is before we get started talking about, I was going to do it tomorrow, I did a post and said I was going to come on tomorrow, but I mean, there's no better time than the present. So I want to come on today. Somebody may need to hear this today. So here we are. I am your sister, your auntie, your cousin, whatever you want to call me. Prophetess Nasya, your spiritual life coach, coming to you from Sisters in Spirit, where our motto is, in the midst of her sisters, a healed woman emerges. A healed woman. So the first thing, before we get into our discussion today, there's something that I'm doing on behalf of Sis. We're doing more outreach now. We did a couple of weeks ago, right? We did a fundraiser for the activities department at one of our local nursing homes, and we sold baked spaghetti dinners, and we raised money to support the elderly from the activities department. And so each month I want to start doing something new as far as outreach goes. Some of the stuff we can continue, from month to month. We're getting ready to enter into our winter months. So there'll be a lot of things we'll be doing with clothing or whatever. But for this month, going into next month, what I wanted to do, I got this from a sister of mine. Her post was talking about something called the blessing bag. And what that is you take one of your old pocketbooks that you're not using and you fill it with items that you feel a homeless person would benefit from, a homeless woman would benefit from. And I made a list. I'm just going to name a few things that may give you a few ideas of what you want to put in your bag. But for our bags, my sister and I were doing this. I made a list of like maybe a few non-perishable food items. I picked up some today, and there's a lot of people that that are homeless. When I say homeless, I'm talking about people who are actually living on the street, people who are sleeping up under bridges and behind trash cans and cardboard boxes. This is what I'm talking about. So, and if you've never been there, then try to imagine if that were you in that condition. What things do you think that you would need to kind of like make life a little better for you? And so as I was making a list of things, that's I've been homeless many times, but I've never had to sleep outside. But I have been homeless for many years. And so on a certain level, I can sympathize. But like I said, I've never had to sleep outside or anything like that. But just imagine if you were in that predicament yourself, what things would you need to help make it a little easy for you? So as we know, a lot of homeless people, they use public restrooms to wash up or whatever for their hygiene. So one thing that I was thinking is that to get, they have body wash that you don't have to like rinse off. You just spray it on a rag and you clean yourself with it, and you don't have to rinse off. So I was thinking about getting some of that for the blessing bag, and also some wipes, just in case, like I said, they don't have access to a public restroom. At least with the wipes, they can wipe themselves down and clean themselves somewhat. You know what I mean? Also, things like toothpaste, the toothbrush, a comb and a brush. I think they also have shampoo that you use to clean your hair and you don't have to wash it out. So stuff like that. What else did we put on the list? Oh yeah, tampons, pads, washcloth. Since it's getting ready, the weather's getting ready to change. I was thinking maybe also like a scarf and some gloves, socks, um, maybe underwear, just for like an average size woman or whatever. Maybe get, if you have like a couple of old pocketbooks laying around, maybe you can do 2 or 3 blessing bags or whatever. And what else did we put on the list?
Yeah, toothbrush.
Yes. Soap,
Deodorant.
deodorant.
Canned food that they can open
Yeah,
up.
non-perishable food items like like they have like tuna and salmon in the packets that are already cooked. They, the beanie weenies, the Vienna sausages, just non-perishable food items, something where they can pop the top and eat. That would be a blessing. Also, um, disposable, silverware, forks and spoons. So at least they have something to eat with. I just try to put yourself in that position. If it were you, what would help you? And you don't have to get the things that I'm getting to put in my bag, but just think and what would help you? What would benefit you if it was you that was sleeping up under a bridge? What would help you get through your day to day? And also, I said I want to put like a little note in the pocketbook, a little note, um, and also something to let the sister know that you're still a lady. You may be homeless, but you're still a lady. So like maybe a little thing of lip gloss, or lipstick, or um, what else did I say? Oh, nail polish. Just something to remind her that she's a lady. She's still a lady, or whatever. And you may think of some more personal things, like maybe a pair of earrings or something, or whatever you can think of. Just get your old pocketbooks, fill one with, just like I said, a lot of different stuff that you think that a homeless lady would need and would appreciate. And like I said, include non-perishable food items and toiletries and personal items and things like that. So this is something that I wanted to start now, and I actually want to take this through. Let this be something that we do like on a monthly basis, if we could. Um, because we can always get bags and fill bags. The pocketbook thing is a good thing because, you know, that's a bag that they could actually use. And also, I know this is a women's organization. However, we help everybody. Women, men, children, everybody. So if it's something that you want to extend and do for the fellas also, then you can get like a backpack, fill it with some items for men, personal items and socks and non-perishable food or whatever. But I just thought it'd be something great that we could do just to give back. It's not about how much you do. You know what I'm saying? It's the little things that matter. It's, you know what I'm saying? Some of us are in a position where we can help 10 or 15 people or more at a time. Some of us are not in that position. Some of us are in a position, some of us live on a fixed income, and so we can only do what we can do. So a little is much to some people. What some people see as little, other people see as much. The everyday things that we take for granted because they're accessible to us, someone else, it's a big deal to someone else. Like we complain about paying our bills, but there's somebody that wish they had an electric bill. They wish they had rent to pay because that would mean that they wasn't homeless. So we need to be thankful not just for the things we have, but for the things that we don't have, and vice versa, because situations could always be worse, and we could be in that situation any day. Because, like I said, for years I was homeless. Like I said, it never got to a point where I had to sleep up on the bridge or in a cardboard box, but I was homeless and I lost everything like a few times. I had to completely start over. I had to live with strangers, and strangers had to take care of me and nurse me back to health. And of course, those strangers became family. So that's why I say that at any moment, you could be up here today and down here tomorrow. So never forget that. And always try to help somebody else. It doesn't have to be, like I said, on a grand scale, because it's the little things that matter. The little things, just making a sandwich. Take it. I mean, most people know like where the homeless people hang out at in their town, in their city, or whatever. Make a few sandwiches and go hand them out. Little stuff like that. Go to the Dollar Tree to get a bunch of different items like socks and stuff like that, and hand those things out. So this is just something that I wanted to share with you ladies, to see if you wanted to join us in doing this blessing bag. And for those of you who just come on, I'm talking about the blessing bag. Take one of your old pocketbooks and fill it with some, and give it to a homeless lady, someone that you know is homeless. Fill it with some things. This is something that, like I said, we can do on a continual basis, but probably every month I'll be coming to introduce like a new fundraiser or a new challenge or whatever, just to get us in the habit of giving. Just to get us in the habit of giving and to make us more appreciative of what we have. So, like I said, the winter months are coming in. So we're probably going to be doing like a clothing drive, coat drive, gloves, hats, scarves, things like that. So just in your spare time, if you have like a few extra dollars to spare, like I said, ain't no shame. Go to the Dollar Tree, go to Family Dollar, wherever. Hit the clearance racks in the store and just, pick up a few little things, $1 here, $2 here, and just hold them, and then whenever you get a few things together, put them together in the bag and bless somebody with them. Trust me, they will appreciate it. They will absolutely appreciate it. So that's what first thing I wanted to talk about was the blessing bag. And if anybody's just coming on and you missed this, oh, thank you, Pastor Ginger. Thank you. I try to keep it together. You know what I mean? Try to keep up with you with your beautiful self. But yeah, the blessing bag. So you don't have to, if you like to share when you get your bags together, if you like to post a picture and share your bag, that's great. But you don't have to share actually giving it to a homeless person. We ain't gonna take it there, because that's personal. You know what I mean? That's personal. But of course, you can always take a picture of your pocketbook, that's ready to go, and hashtag blessing bag. And I'll do the same. But today, now we're going to get into our discussion. It's been a minute since I came on and hollered at you ladies. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about negative energy. Negative energy and the effects of negative energy. The first thing I want to say, as women, we wear different hats and we have so many different responsibilities, so many people to take care of besides ourselves, those that are married, your husband, those that have children, your children, your family, your friends. We have along with that, work and whatever else we have going on. So it's very important that we stay balanced. It's very important that we stay balanced. I know sometimes that people try to downplay our importance as women, but a few years after the father had me to start this women's group, SIS, he was speaking to me about women and how if you heal the woman, you will in turn heal the whole family. If the woman is broken, the whole family breaks down, because the woman is the core of the family. And if she's broken, the whole family is going to be broken. But if you heal the woman, the whole family would be healed. And so this is the reason that I initially started SIS Women's Ministry in the first place, because the Father had given me a mandate to help heal and restore broken women, because I was once that broken woman. I mean, broken down. And so I know what it is to be in a place of depression, in a place where you feel useless, you feel unworthy, you feel unappreciated, um, you feel unloved. I've been to that. I've been in that place. I've been in that place, even to the point where I didn't even want to live. I was suicidal. Like, yeah, I was there. And it took years for my healing. It took years for me to learn how to love myself, for me to learn how to appreciate myself, and for me to understand that I really don't need validation from anyone else. The fact that the Father allowed me to come into this earth realm and to be here and to be present, that alone validates me. And that alone validates you. The fact that you are here should be enough validation that the Father said that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you're the apple of his eye. Now, I'm not saying that from time to time, yes, we all need a little bit of validation from time to time. From time to time, you want to feel appreciated. You want to feel like people value you and they appreciate you. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, do not put anybody else in charge of your happiness. This is what I'm saying. We are responsible for our own happiness. We are responsible for our own healing. We are responsible for that. And being responsible for that, we have to be protective of ourselves. And that means putting yourself first, but not in a selfish way. That means making sure that you are good mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that you're good. Because keep in mind, we're the core of the family. We're the glue, in other words, that holds everything together. And if we come undone, everything comes undone. So that's what I mean by putting yourself first. We have to learn how to put ourselves first, and we have to learn how to protect ourselves. Because, as I said today, we're talking about negative energy. And honestly, a lot of us are, I'm going to say, unnecessary. There's things we have to go through to build our spiritual muscle, to show us what's in us, yes. But then there's also some things that we experience but it's our own doing. And because of who we attach ourselves to, and because of what we allow people to do and say to us. People can only do to you what you allow them to do to you. And so if you're allowing someone to abuse you, disrespect you in any kind of way, talk to you any kind of way, if you're allowing that, you're allowing the abuse. You're allowing the disrespect. And the question is, why? What is it in you that makes it okay for somebody to disrespect you, to talk to you any kind of way, to treat you any kind of way, without you nipping it in the bud? Because as I said, people can only do to you what you allow them to do to you. And there's some things that you have to like nip in the bud. For one, I don't know, people think I don't know. I don't know what people think about me. And I rightfully don't care. But I am one that I don't hold anything in. As far as if somebody does or says something to disrespect me or to make me feel a certain way, I don't hold that in. I let them know that what you said or what you did, this is how it made me feel. Or this is how I took it. I don't believe in carrying stuff around. I don't believe in holding stuff in, because if it's on the inside of me, now it's going to do internal damage. It's going to do internal damage. Now I'm going to start worrying and stressing, and all this stuff is inside of me, and it's you know, doing this inside of me. There's a battle going on inside of me. Why? Because I won't speak my truth. Because I won't correct people that are being disrespectful to me. That hurts me to hold that in, not to speak. You have a voice. Use your voice to speak up for yourself. And you know what? So many of us, we will be very quickly, like this, we'll quickly defend somebody else. We'll quickly speak up for somebody else. But sometimes when it comes to us, we won't speak up for ourselves. And we think we just have to take anything. No, you're not a doormat. You're not a doormat. And I hear so many women complain about feeling unappreciated, feeling used. A lot of people feel used. Feel, and I'm just sharing because I counsel women one-on-one, like on the regular. And so a lot of what I'm finding is a lot of women, they feel so unappreciated. They feel used, that they feel worthless, like all these negative emotions. And so I have to ask, who's around you? Number one, who do you have yourself surrounded by? What do your friends look like? What does your family look like? Yes, even family. And how do they speak to you, about you? Like, what are they speaking? Because we know words have power. And when something leaves your mouth, it goes into the atmosphere. Remember, we are speaking spirits. And so when we speak, that word goes into the atmosphere. Now that word is going to do what you spoke it to do. That's why you have to be careful when you let people speak over you and speak things to you, negative things. That's not the time to keep your mouth shut and not say nothing. No, that's not the time for that. That's the time where you speak up and you rebuke that thing. And you pull that thing out of the atmosphere. You cancel that assignment. Because people will be so quick to speak. And sometimes we even do it to ourselves. We even do it to ourselves, saying what we can't do and what we can accomplish. And I'm what we're not. I'm not this and I'm not that. But then you expect to see positive results. Negativity will never give you positive results. Whether if you're speaking negatively over yourself or you're allowing other people to put their negativity on you, it will never give you positive results. It's not going to happen. What it will do, though, it'll start eating away at you. I don't care how positive you are. I don't care how many scriptures you know. If you keep yourself in an environment where there's only negative energy, eventually that negative energy is going to start eating away at you. It's going to start nibbling bit by bit, taking your positive energy, wearing away at it, eating away at it. And then you're going to find yourself like everybody else around you, miserable, because they're miserable. And we know that misery loves company. Miserable people love to make other people miserable. And that's just what it is. But like I said, we have to get ourselves in a place where we begin to put ourselves first. We begin to respect ourselves enough not to allow anything or anyone negative to influence our spirit, to break our spirit, to make us look at ourselves differently. Because I don't know about you, but when I was a child and all through my teen years and even in my young adult years, I was bullied like really bad, like terribly, by everyone. I went to school, I was bullied at school. I come home, my family bullied me. Like it was no escape. I dealt with that 24/7. And it made me feel a certain way about myself. And eventually, I started hating myself. Like, and I said, you know what? I must be unlovable. That became my mindset that I'm unlovable. Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. People treat me horrible all the time. I must be a monster. I must be unlovable. Like, literally, that's what I thought about myself. Because hearing so much negativity, that's all I heard, except from my mother. My mother, she would always build me up and speak positive words of affirmation to me. And I honestly believe that that's what kept me. Because honestly, y'all, like, with the stuff that I endured as a child and teenager and young adult, like, I'm surprised that I wasn't a teen suicide statistic. Like, I'm just being real. That's how much bullying and stuff I went through, and verbal abuse and stuff like that. So I know what it does to you. I know what negative, and all that was negative energy. I didn't, as a child, I didn't, know it was negative energy. All I knew is that everybody treats me horrible. Everybody treats me mean. They say whatever they want to say to me. Like, yeah, but it's negative energy. And after a while, that negative energy will eat away at you. It will eat away at you. And it will start making you think things about yourself that aren't even true. For years, I thought I was the ugliest woman walking the earth. For years, I thought I was a monster. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a monster because of all the negativity and the horrible things that were said to me. So I believed it. Now that I'm spiritually mature and spiritually minded, now I know that people will say things to you because of their insecurities, because of how they feel. They'll try to make you feel how they feel. And like I said, I didn't know it then, but I know it now. But I'm just giving you an example of the effect of that negative energy can have on you. And yeah, negative energy has terrible side effects. It will rob you of everything. It will rob you of your joy. It will rob you of your peace of mind, which is like the most important thing, I think. Mind, and to not have peace within yourself. If you have no peace, like, yeah, if you have no peace, you have no stability. You can't have no joy because you're not at peace. You're not at peace within yourself. You ain't at peace with nobody. So it robs you of your joy. It robs you of your happiness. It robs you of everything good. It robs you of that. This is what negative energy does to us. And so when we allow negative people that we know are negative, to remain in our presence, when we allow ourselves to remain attached to them, then yeah, it's not going to be good. Because remember, you're allowing it. And anytime that you allow, see, people, listen, let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, people can say what they want to say about me, but one thing they don't do is disrespect me. One thing they don't do, like, people act a certain way in my presence because they know that I don't deal with negativity. They know this about me. They know that I don't do foolishness. I don't deal with negativity and gossip and this and that. I don't deal with none of that. Period. Because if you gossip with me, you'll gossip about me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been living here on this street in the same house at the same address for 10 years now. And my neighbors, which I know, which I have contact with, but I bet you they can't tell you nothing personal about me. Because I don't put my business out there like that. Like, it's just, you have to know your limit with people. And when you see that people are negative or whatever, you have to make a separation. there's this, you have to make a choice that there's just certain things that I am not going to allow, because it affects your spirit, man. And you are spirit first and foremost. So when things are being spoken to you or spoken over you, it's entering into your spirit, your soulish realm. It's taking this stuff in. And so that's why you have no peace. And you have no peace of mind, because now it's got you off kilter. You're off kilter now. And so now you're acting like everybody else around you now. And then you find yourself becoming negative. You find yourself in a negative space now, talking how you normally wouldn't talk, doing things you normally wouldn't do. Why? Because all the negativity around you has now gotten in you. Like I said, I don't care how deep and wonderful and spiritual you think you are, and how many scriptures you know, and you're blessed and highly favored. Listen, let me explain something. Negative energy has a very strong force, pulling force. And if you remain in that kind of environment, it's going to eat away at you. It's going to eat away at you if you remain in that kind of environment. So what you have to do is, some of y'all just need to change your circle. Like, for real. Some of y'all need to detach yourself from folks. And friend, family, whoever. You just need to detach yourself from some people, because they're literally draining the life out of you. Literally draining the life out of you. And this is not of the Father. No. This is not when the word says, beloved, I wish above all things that you would prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prosper. This is what the word says. So no, Yahweh is not going to bring anybody in your life to tear you down. Yahweh, not Yah. He's not going to bring anybody in your life to tear you apart, to tear you down, to beat you down. Not when he wants to build you up. He's going to introduce somebody to beat you down. That's not of Yahweh. It's not. And it's not scriptural. It's not. It's not scriptural. Anyway, negativity and negative energy. Negativity and negative energy. Let me tell you, Proverbs 14:1 talks about the foolish woman. It says, a wise woman builds her house. She builds her house. But a foolish woman, with her own hands, tears her house down. This is your house. You're the house. What are you putting in your house? What are you allowing to enter into your house? Not only is this your house, this is your temple. This is where the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, resides. And so you gonna tell me that the Father's gonna put people in your life, in your space, that will cause you to be in chaos, that will cause you to lose your joy and peace and serenity and happiness, when your house is a temple for the Holy Spirit to reside in? How the Holy Spirit gonna reside and rest in something that's not at peace? How can the Holy Spirit enter and reside and rest in something where there's chaos, where there's dysfunction? Come on now. Think about it. This is your house, your temple. This is your house. And the scripture says that a wise woman builds her house. How do you build your house? By ridding yourself of negativity, by ridding yourself of negative people, by lifting yourself up, by speaking positive words of affirmation over yourself, by putting yourself first, by loving yourself. And for a lot of you, You need to love yourself more. You depending on somebody else to love you. You depending on somebody else to heal you. You depending on somebody else to make you happy. You depending on somebody else to make you feel worthy. No, that comes from you. You should be giving this stuff to yourself. So when somebody does come, whether it be friend, family member, whoever, when somebody does come in your space and they're bringing negative energy, you say, oh, I don't deal with that. Not here. There's no room in my house for negative space. There's no room in my house for negative space. And see, some of you need to do some house cleaning, some spring cleaning in your house, because there's negative space and negativity in you that needs to come out of you before anything else can enter you. You can't put new wine in old wineskins. They're gonna bust. So you have to put new wine into new wineskins. So therefore, if you want change, you're gonna have to change. You can't expect change doing the same thing and being the same way. No, if you want change, then something has to change for change to come. So therefore, there's a lot of you, your houses are already filled with junk. Junk in the form of negativity, in the form of self-hatred, in the form of some that, believe it or not, there may be some women watching. There are some people that physically harm themselves. They cut themselves. They cut. I had a foster daughter one time where she cut herself, but when she came here, she stopped. Because why? Because we loved on her. We loved on her, and we only spoke positive words of affirmation to her. And so she started feeling good about herself. And all that cutting and negativity and stuff stopped. See, in your house, you have the key to your house. Nobody else has the key to your house. You're the only one with the key to your house. Yeah. And so you determine. It's you that determine what you allow in your house. In your house. In your mind. It's you that determines comes in and out. And if they're coming in, what are they bringing with them? And if they're leaving out, are they taking something with them? When people leave your presence, do stuff come up missing like joy and peace and happiness? And when people come into your presence, what are they bringing? When they leave, are you better off or are you worse off? So your house, a wise woman builds her house. What is your foundation? What does the foundation of your house look like? What did you build your house with? What is your house built with? Shall we go to the Three Little Pigs? You got one built the house with straw, and then Big Bad Wolf, he huffed and puffed and blew it down. You see, you know what I mean? Shall we go there? That's why I'm asking. What is your house built with, and what is the foundation that somebody can come and say something to you and you fall apart? What is your house built from? And what's in your house? Seriously consider that. Seriously think about that. A wise woman builds her house. We need to start building ourselves up. And we also need to start building each other up as women. Stop looking at your sister as your competition. Stop looking at your sister, sneer your nose up when she walked by because she looked nice. and you're going to sneer your nose up instead of complimenting the sister. Hey, sis, that's a nice dress. Oh, your hair is nice. You better work, girl. You know what I mean? Compliment your sister. That competitive spirit that we have amongst each other, that's got to go. Because that's one of the negatives too. That's negative energy too. How we even look at each other as women, how we see and view each other as women, and compare ourselves, constantly comparing ourselves. No, that's got to stop. That's got to go. That needs to be cleaned up out of your house, taken out of your house. That contrite spirit, that jealous spirit, that spirit of competition, competitive spirit. See, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that we need to clean up out of our house. You can't put good stuff on top of junk. You have to remove the junk. You have to remove the junk and remove the clutter. Like I said, for a lot of us and for a lot of you watching, you ain't got to admit it, but your house is jacked up because you done put all kind of stuff in your house, and you don't allow other people to come in and out your house, putting stuff in your house. And then we wonder why we're in the condition that we're in. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We wonder. The foolish woman, with her own hands, ain't nobody else got to do it. With her own hands, tears down her house or tears down herself, breaks herself down. How do you do it? Many ways. When you allow other people to put their junk on you, when you allow other people to dump negativity on you, when you allow other people to treat you and talk to you in any kind of way, that's in essence you tearing down your own house. Why? Because like I said, you're the only one with the keys to your house. And people can only do what you allow them to do in your house. Can't nobody come up in, let's look at it in the physical, in the natural. Can't nobody come up in my house and do what they want to do. Not up in here. There's certain things that, like for example, we don't wear shoes in my house. We just don't. To me, it's just like you've been outside with your shoes on and it'll tell them what's on the bottom of your shoe. So don't bring outside inside. So therefore, when people come in my house, they know they have to take their shoes off at the door. That's one of the things. So if I want to let somebody come up in my physical house, my natural house, if I want to let somebody come up in my natural house and do what they want to do, then why would I allow somebody to come up in my spiritual house, my emotional house, my mental house, and do what they want to do? Why? Because if this house is not right, guess what? Your natural house, habitat where you live is not going to be right. If this house, if this temple, if this house ain't right, ain't nothing going to be right. Nothing. So we have to be good stewards over this house, over this earthen vessel. We have to be good stewards. And being a good steward means building yourself up. Begin to build yourself up. Begin to see yourself as the Father sees you. You are an individual. You are an original. There are no two people in this world that have the same fingerprint. Did you know that? Every person in this world has their own distinct fingerprint. Nobody else, past, present, or future to come, has your fingerprint. If that doesn't make you an individual, and if that doesn't make you special, I don't know what does. You are you. There's only one you. And for a lot of us don't like ourselves. Let's just be honest. We don't like ourselves. And so we try to be everything other than ourselves. Can nobody beat you at being you? You're you for a reason. You were born with purpose, a specific purpose. You were born with gifts. Yeah, there are many gifts. It could be the same gift, but the workings of the gift is different. For example, like I said, let's relate it back to the natural. There's a lot of people that have the gift of singing, but their voices are totally different. But they all have the same gift. They have a gift, and each one of those gifts have a purpose because they draw different people. So you were born with purpose. You was born with distinct purpose. You were. You. Yeah, you. You that think you're worthless. You that think you don't have a calling. There's nothing special about you. There is absolutely everything about you is special. Even those things that you consider to be flaws. That's what makes you different. That's one of the things that I had to learn how to embrace about myself and accept was my flaws, or what I saw as flaws. Now those things that I saw as flaws are the things now that I see as that set me apart, that make me different. I'm not supposed to look like everybody else. I'm not supposed to be built like everybody else. So those things that I used to see as flaws, because they were always pointed out to me. And on top of that, society had their own standard of what beauty was and this and that. So that paired with, like I said earlier, people will point out things in you that is really about them and how they feel about themselves. So yes, an insecure person that has no self-love from themselves, that person gonna make you try to feel as worthless as you can about yourself. Misery loves company. But you're gonna have to get to a point where you're gonna have to begin to love yourself a little more. Put yourself first. Because like I said, if you're no good, how are you gonna be good for everybody else? Those of you that are married, how are you gonna be good for your spouse? How are you gonna be good for your children? Those of you that work, there's many of you that may have your own businesses or whatever. How are you gonna even function properly if you have all this negativity and all these negative things in your mind and in your emotions and in your spirit? How do you function properly? Anything other than balance is dysfunction. And a lot of us live in dysfunction, and a lot of us have become so accustomed to dysfunction that it's our normal. Everybody else can look and see like the dysfunction is going on with you, but you can't see it because you've been in it for so long that it's normal to you. It's your normal way of being. It's your normal way of living. But it's dysfunction though. Never get complacent being miserable. Never get complacent being in a state of depression. Never get complacent being unhappy. Because once you get complacent, that's when you start accepting anything. You start accepting anything, and then it becomes your norm. And other people are looking at you like, do she not know that that's dysfunctional? But you don't see it as that because it's what you're used to. But that's dysfunction all day long. So yeah, as women, we need to start building up ourselves more and building up each other. Like seriously, this is because not only does it affect you when you're broken, and depressed and miserable, you're going to break other people and you're going to put that misery off on other people. Whether you realize it or not, your energy, as my elder says, there's only two kinds of energy, positive and negative. And if you're full of negative energy, that negative energy is going to be placed on other people, the people around you, your family, your friends, your children, especially you that have children. You have to get in the place where you're healed, because that's going to overflow on your children. And then what you're going to be looking at is generational curses. Now you're wondering why your child walking around looking all depressed, looking all sad, because his mama depressed and sad. And children are sponges. They soak up everything. You might not think they see. You might not think they don't see what's going on. They don't know what's going on. But children, even more so than we, children pick up on energy. They can feel energy. And that's all we are. It's energy. And so, like I said, it's vital. It's important that you begin to build yourself up. And I don't know what it is you're going to have to do to build yourself up. Like I said, some of y'all might have to get around some folk. Like seriously, like I had to do it. I literally left everything and everybody that I knew, because I had to detach myself. If I was going to live, if I was going to thrive, if I was going to shake myself out of this miserable place that I was in, I had to detach myself from my environment and from the people in my environment. And it was one of the best decisions that I ever made, because when I separated myself from all of that negativity, now it's just me and the Father. And now the Father begins to work on me. And in him working on me, one thing that the Father will do, he will show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when he puts his finger on something, you're going to have to confront it, because what you're not willing to confront will never be healed. It will never be healed if you're not willing to confront the things that the Father puts his finger on and say, see that right there? You see that little blemish right there? Yeah, I'm going to need you to handle that. See, we're waiting for the Father to do everything. Oh, we pray, oh, Father, fix this. No. Everything has been done. Yeshua said, it is finished. Everything has been established. Now, you take this word and you get this word in you. Let this word penetrate you. Let this word become alive in you. And once you allow this word to have a perfect work in you and become alive in you, it'll start changing you, starting with your mind. Once you get this to line up, everything else will line up. Once you begin seeing yourself the way the Father sees you, it'll be stuff that you won't allow no more. See, when you become aware of self and aware of who you are and whose you are, you will not allow anybody to dump their trash, their negativity on you. You won't even do it to yourself anymore, because now you know who you are and you love her. And so now you're going to do everything that you can to protect her, because now you see her worth and you see that she's worthy of love. She's worthy to hold her head up and proclaim that she's a daughter of Zion. She's a daughter of the King. She knows her worth now. She knows her worth as a woman. We need to know our worth, and we need to stop putting ourselves on the clearance rack for anybody to come along and buy. So now I'm going somewhere else. Yeah, a lot of y'all I'm talking about relationship now. You got yourself on the clearance rack. Anybody can afford you. Anybody can buy you. Anybody can get it. Let's just be real. Y'all know I'm real with it. Anybody can get it. And as a woman, to have that kind of reputation where everybody in the neighborhood done had it, and they could write a book about it, and for you to be happy to call yourself a side chick, for you to be proud to be a side chick, that somebody doesn't value you enough to make you their one and only, but you be side chick though. And that's okay with you as a woman to be an option and not to be a priority to anybody, but you just the option. That should not be okay. That shouldn't be okay. And it shouldn't be okay. And I'm going to say a word now, and I'm just saying it for the sake of this video. Women, sisters, y'all, still, this 2018, about to be 2019 in a minute, y'all. And y'all still referring to each other as bitches. Now you use it as a term of endearment. That's my B. What up, B? What's up, ho? And y'all kikiing, calling each other out of your name. But then when a dude called you out your name, when a dude called you the same thing, you get an attitude. You mad. But you allow another woman to disrespect you and call you a B or call you a hoe. And it's cool? And then you wonder as women why we don't have any self-esteem, any kind of self-love? Because we, as the Proverbs 14:1 says, a foolish woman tear down her own house with her own hands. Y'all out here disrespecting yourself. But then you expect somebody else to respect you. But you're disrespecting yourself. But you demand respect from other people? Come on now. Come on. Nah. You know better than that. You want people to call you queen. But you don't carry yourself like a queen. You see what I'm saying? There's women that we need to do. There's a lot of cleaning up. There's a lot of stuff we need to get out of our house. Clean out of our house. We need to do some serious house cleaning. Calling right wrong and wrong right. And kikiing about everything. Thinking everything funny. It's funny when you see two females fighting over a man. That's funny to some of y'all. I ain't never understood that. Because my thing is, I'm in a relationship with this man. If I'm gonna put hands on anybody, it's gonna be him, not the female. Because I'm not in relationship with her. I'm in relationship with him. And if we're not married, then it ain't even a relationship. That's another place we fail too. We give boyfriends husband privileges. Oh yeah, I'm hitting all angles today. Because as women, we got to do better. We give boyfriends husbands privileges. And then we sit back and wonder why we get treated how we get treated. We want to be so demanding of respect, but we don't respect ourselves. Respect has to start with self. Everything has to start with self. Because if you don't respect yourself, number one, you're not going to respect the next sister. And you're going to allow people to disrespect you because you don't even respect you. How can you demand respect and you don't even respect yourself? How can you expect somebody to love you when you don't even have love for yourself? Everything starts with self. And I had to learn that the hard way, and it took years. This ain't no overnight, because all that negative stuff that I had put in me and I had allowed others to put in me, it didn't come overnight. It took a lot of years. So therefore, it took a lot of years for me to be healed. And for me to sit here before you today, bold and confident and loving myself. It took years for this. And it took a lot of me looking at the mirror, in the mirror, working out issues that I had with me. See, at the end of the day, your issues are with you. Your issues are with yourself. Because once I worked my issues out with me, yeah, it was a done deal. I don't allow negativity in me or around me, even thoughts, because you know the mind is the battlefield. Even when negative thoughts try to come, I cast them down quickly. And so therefore when people, I protect me now. I have to protect me. Because at the end of the day, all you have is you. At the end of the day, all you have is you at the end of the day. And you have to protect you. You have to be good for you. You have to be good for you. It's not selfish to put yourself first. How are you going to be good for anybody else and you're not good? From jump start, you're not even good. But now you're supposed to go out here and be superwoman and wear all these different hats and be mother and be wife and be the doctor and be the cook and be the maid and work and like, come on. And you're trying to do all this broken? You're trying to do all this and battle with depression at the same time? You're trying to do all this and put on a facade at the same time, like everything is good, when in all actuality, it ain't good. Ain't nothing good. So you have to pretend to be happy. You have to pretend like everything is good. For what though? For who? A pretentious life is a stressful life where you can't be your authentic self, where you can't be happy. You have to pretend to be happy. But you don't have joy. You have to pretend like you have joy. You're not at peace. You have to pretend. But who are you pretending for? You know what's up. The Father knows what's up. Who are you pretending for? Who are you saving face for? Who are you trying to impress? Everybody got issues. And it may not look like it. It might not seem like it. It may seem like that some people are living the perfect lives and everything is wonderful. Everything is not what it appears to be. Everybody got issues. Everybody has things that they're dealing with. I'm telling you, that woman, that sister that you don't like because it seemed like she got everything at her fingertips. It seemed like, you know, she got the perfect marriage. She's pretty. She got nice clothes. She live in a nice house. Got the best of everything. And you sitting over here, you jealous, you hating because of this woman. You don't even know what that woman's going through. How do you know that woman ain't getting the hell beat out of her every night? How do you know that woman is, how do you know she's not paying for it with her self-respect, not getting respected? You don't know what's going on in that house, in that marriage that you think is so perfect. You don't know what's going on with that person that you think is so perfect and they got it all together, they got everything. No. We all got issues. We all got things that we deal with. We are all a work in progress. But the key word here is progress. We need to be making some kind of progress. But if you're not willing to confront yourself, see, this is about self. All this, everything that has been said today, it's about self. And it all goes back to you. What you allow. What you allow. Remember, this is your house. You have the key. It's you that has decided what comes in and what goes out, and what stays and what goes. That's all you. So in all honesty, we really can't complain. Not really, because what we allow is what will continue. What we allow is what will continue. But listen to me carefully. We need to seek healing for ourselves. This is the starting point, because we need a foundation. And most of us do not have a sure foundation. We wishy-washy. We back and forth. One day we feel good about ourselves. The next day we depressed. Then the next day we feel all right. And then the next day, somebody can say the smallest thing to us, the smallest thing, and mess up your whole day, jack up your whole vibe. That shouldn't be so. That should not be so. That should not be so. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but we will never get it done, and we will never get healing for ourselves if we continue to try to toss the blame elsewhere. It's here. It's here. It's your house. Now, which woman are you going to be? The woman that built her house? The wise woman? Or the foolish woman with her own hands tear her house down? Choose this day which woman you will be. The wise woman or the foolish woman? If you continue to be the foolish woman, that's on you. It's what you chose. So you can't complain. You can't complain about nothing. You don't have a right to complain. You can't allow something to happen and then complain about it. You can't allow me to call you out your name and then run somebody else and say, she always calling me out my name. What is that going to help? Nah, you got to confront the thing that's offending you. You got to confront the negative energy. All the women in my life, they know, like when I was younger, yeah, I did it too. We referred to each other as bees and in other words. But listen, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I spoke as a child. I did childish and foolish things. But when I became a mature, spirit-filled woman, I put away those childish things. I wish somebody would call me out my name. I wish somebody would call me out my name. See, now I live on the wish factor. I wish somebody would. Nah, it's not happening. You know why? Because I have a respect for myself. So therefore, if you're going to be in my presence, in my life, you're going to respect me because I demand respect. like I said, we have a lot of work to do as women. And I wasn't always this woman. This has not always been me. But there comes a time when you get tired of being tired. And in some of y'all, you just ain't reached that point yet. But when you get sick and tired, for real, when you really get tired and fed up, you'll do something about it. Trust me. You'll do something about it. You'll get to that point. You'll do something about it. There's I don't know where I read this from, but it was a man. He had a dog. He's sitting on the porch, and there's a nail on the porch. And every time the dog will go sit on the nail, all the time, like the dog will go sit on the nail. Now you know the nail hurting. So the man friend says, "Why does the dog always go sit on the nail? Why won't he move?" And the owner says, "I guess it ain't hurting bad enough yet." That's the point I make. It ain't hurting bad enough. Because when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll do something. You'll do something about it. Seriously, you will. When you had enough, ain't nobody gonna have to say nothing to you. You gonna make some changes because you can no longer do this. Like you know how people say, I can't take no more of this. I cannot do this another day. See, some of y'all ain't got to that point yet. And so you keep allowing things. And as I said earlier, some of y'all do it to yourself. You beating yourself up. I don't know who did or said what to you, but anything, let me just say this to you. And this is something I learned too when I was going through my healing process. Anything negative that has been said to you is a lie. It is a lie. So if anybody says anything negative to you, it really should be an indication of what they really think of you, who you really are. If somebody says to you, "You ugly," that's a lie. It's the opposite of that. Because people will not speak truth. People who are miserable and negative energy will never tell you the truth. Negative energy always gonna come with what? Lies and negative stuff. And so whatever they speak, you must know that it's actually the opposite of that. Ain't nobody negative gonna say nothing nice and positive to you or about you. Nah, it's not happening. So whatever negative that's been spoken to you or over you or about you, you gotta know and understand that it is the complete opposite of that. It is not so. It's a lie. It's a lie. Begin to lift yourself up. Begin to draw closer to the Father. A lot of us, our problem is we ain't been loved right. We haven't been loved right, and we're looking for love in all the wrong places. We are looking for broken people to love us. We're looking for dysfunctional people to love us. Nobody that's broken and dysfunctional is going to be able to love you the right way. It's not possible. People can only give you what's in them. People can only love you from the capacity that they've been shown love. If they don't know what love is, and love has not been exemplified to them, what makes you think they know how to love you? And then on top of that, they don't even love themselves. So how are they gonna love you? You trying to get You squeezing a apple, thinking orange juice gonna come out. An apple not gonna give you orange juice, and an orange is not gonna give you apple juice. You see how silly, how crazy that sounds? Well, it's the same thing. Thinking that somebody that's broken can love you the right way. Thinking that somebody that's dysfunctional can love you the right way. You yourself's broken and dysfunctional. How you gonna love somebody right? You don't even love yourself. But you expect somebody else to give you all of this love and to heal. Listen, healing can only come from the Father, but you still have to participate in your healing. True love has to be exemplified to you through the Father. The Father is love. It has to be exemplified to you. The only way that I learned how to love myself was learning from how the Father loved on me. The Father loved on me in such a way that it made me love myself. And so now I can love somebody else in a healthy way. Because you have a lot of people out here, they in some messy relationships. And they in some very unhealthy relationships. I'm talking about, yeah, there's some people in some really bad positions. And they're allowing, like, there's a lot of women and men too, because men get physically abused too, believe it or not. But there are a lot of people in some very abusive relationships. I'm talking about people that done had bones broken. People done been sent to the hospital. And they stay in that relationship. Why? Because something is broken in them. Something is broken. They've been broken down in such a way that they think that they deserve that treatment. You see what I'm saying? That's why as women, we really have to start supporting each other more. We have to start loving on each other more, because you don't know what that next sister is dealing with and going through. You don't know. Everything not what it seems. People think the grass is green on the other side, but yeah, that grass is fake. It ain't even grass. And we over here hating them. Man, we got to cut it out. And we got to start embracing each other. And we got to start embracing ourselves. And we got to start embracing who the Father says that we are. Fearfully and wonderfully made. The apple of his eye. Daughters of Zion. If you're going to call yourself queen. See, it's one thing to call yourself a queen. It's another thing to know that you're a queen. Two different things. Because when you know that you're a queen, you ain't got to say it. Your life exemplifies it. How you treat yourself exemplifies it. How you allow others to treat you and talk to you exemplifies it. Your life will speak for you. Your life will speak for you. And like I said, that's the whole purpose for the mandate that the Father has given me when I even started this group, was to help broken women heal, to help heal broken women, because I know once the woman is healed, everything around her will be healed. Everything. So there'll be an extension of healing, because once the woman is healed, she'll start thinking differently. She'll start becoming different. And therefore, that's going to spill over into everybody that she's in direct connection with. And it's going to bring healing to her children, healing to her spouse, and healing to her family and friends and whoever else is in her company. This is why this is important. And this is why earlier I asked you guys, what are some of the things that you want to talk about? Like, there's over 1,500 women in this group. And I've had the privilege to be able to talk to and counsel some of you guys one-on-one. And we all have a supply. Every one of us have a supply. Every one of us have something to give. And I've said this before. Feel free to share with other women. Somebody needs your story. Somebody needs to know that they're not the only one dealing with a certain subject or a certain thing. That's why I asked, what do you ladies want to talk about? Because the only way we're going to heal together is if we confront some things together and we begin to talk and get it out and release. That's the word I'm looking for, release. We begin to release some things, clean our house so that we can invite new things in. Get rid of the clutter, get rid of the junk, get rid of the baggage, so that we can allow the fruits of the Spirit. That's what I'm talking about. The fruits of the Spirit, we can allow the fruits of the Spirit in. Healing is a beautiful thing. It's a process. Don't get me wrong. It is a process because you're going through pruning. You're on the potter's wheel. There's some things being gutted out of you. You're being cleaned out. It's a process. But the end results, yeah. Sometimes I think back and about myself, my own life, and I'm like, wow, I came a long way because I came from a very broken place. And sometimes it even surprises me that I am even this woman that can sit here before you and that can counsel other women, that can, like that blows my mind sometimes when I think about it. Because of the brokenness that I came from. I never thought in a million years that this would be me. Not me, but one thing that I know about the Father, He can take your mess and turn it into a message. The very things that were meant to break you, there is purpose in your pain, is what I'm trying to tell you. There's purpose in your pain. Some of you have been through some really hurtful stuff that really should have took you out, but you survived it. And once you can get healed from that thing that you're still carrying, the bitterness that you're still carrying from, once you can get healed from that thing, look here. There's other women that are waiting for your voice, that are waiting for your time, for the gifts and the calling that's inside of you. Yeah, you. Grow through what you go through. That's the whole purpose, to grow through what we go through. Grow through it. You survived, right? You've been through a lot. I know some of you have been through a lot, but you're here. You're still here. And that alone, the fact that you survived it, should let you know that you have purpose. You have purpose. And you have been predestined for a purpose. And like the word says, all things work for the good of those who love the Father and who are called, what? According to His purpose. That's why you had to go through some of the stuff you had to go through, because it's directly connected to what the Father has purposed for you to do in this earth. So hold your head up. Begin to lift yourself up. Don't wait for nobody else to make you happy. Don't wait for nobody else to put a smile on your face. Don't wait for nobody else to love you. You love you. You encourage yourself. Like that David said, he encouraged himself in the Father. He had to encourage himself. Encourage yourself.